Hey, do you even lift, bro?
What? I like to read.
What a nerd. You need to learn to lift.
Hey, I'm Buff Mike, and you look like a nerd.
I am a nerd.
I'm gonna teach you how to lift, so that you'll be able to beat up those bullies. Come on, let's go! Now, before you pick up a single weight, there are some things you gotta know. Generally, you should start out with a dynamic warm-up. Get your blood pumping and stretch out. You should also be wearing athletic clothes and shoes to allow full range of movement and safety. Now, when you move into the weight room, the number one concern is safety. Never lift without a partner, and always pick weight that is appropriate for you. There are several types of weightlifting bars we'll be using. For bench press, this will be a 45-pound bar. But for the Olympic weightlifting area, these are 44, 33, 22, and 11 pounds. On the bar, the rough part is known as the knurling. This will be helpful later. It is also helpful to remember that 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. When you are performing the bench press lift, you'll need a spotter for safety using the over-under grip. And for all the other lifts, spotting will be strictly observational. We will also be using clips when we lift. Aside from being a good forearm workout, these contraptions keep the weight held evenly on the bar. The last thing you need to know before we lift are the core lifts. There are 5 of these: bench press, back squat, front squat, push press, and deadlift. We will be starting off with the bench press lift. Aside from being a test of your manhood, this lift will work your chest and arms. There are 4 teaching cues for this lift. These will be the same cues as all other lifts besides deadlift: grip, base, descend, and drive. My assistant Little Mike is here to demonstrate this lift for you. For grip, he will be placing his hands a thumb's length away from the knurling, which centers the bar and provides stability. He ensures that his base is centered on the bench and his head can relax on the pad. This makes it easier for him to rack the bar. Next, he will slowly descend the bar while breathing in to an inch off of his chest. This makes it so he doesn't hurt his shoulders and his muscles get the full range of motion. Then he just has to drive the bar up from his chest and breathe out. Now it's your turn, Inti. Make sure to remember our teaching cues for this lift. This next lift will help you get shredded legs like mine. Back squat has the same 4 teaching cues: grip, base, descend, and drive. Little Mike is going to place his hands 1 inch away from the knurling. By the way, this is the only lift dealing with 1 inch, rather than a full thumb's length. Now Little Mike will move under the rack to place the bar on his traps. It is important to set your base a shoulder's width apart, which keeps you stable and allows the full range of motion. Always remember to look up, by the way. For the descent, he will dip down to below 90 degrees while breathing in to get ripped legs, boys, and to work the quads and hamstrings. Then Little Mike will push up from the heels to get that proper rise and the most stability while breathing out. Now it's your turn. This next lift is pretty similar to back squat. It's got the same cues as usual: grip, base, descend, and drive. This lift is called the front squat, and Little Mike is going to teach you how to do it. Placing his hands a thumb's length away, he will roll 2 fingers on each hand under the bar. The bar should rest on his delts, and he should always be looking up while pushing his elbows up during this lift. This all provides balance to the bar without stressing the wrist. Once again, the feet should be set shoulder width apart for stability. When Little Mike descends, he will breathe in and move below 90 degrees to get those ripped legs and to work the quads and hamstrings. Next, he'll push up on the heels while looking up and breathing out. This allows the proper rise to happen and keeps the bar on his shoulders. Now it's your turn, Inti. This next lift is push press. This will help work your shoulders and even a little in your legs. Little Mike is going to place his hands a thumb's length away for the grip. Remember the cues though: grip, base, descend, and drive. He should set his base shoulder width apart for stability, and the bar should rest near his clavicle or delts to keep the bar in place. Little Mike will then perform a partial descent to gain momentum in his legs. This will ensure his arms are not performing the entire lift. Notice how he breathes in during the descent and drives up from his heels while breathing out, pushing the bar above him and locking it in place, and then racking the bar safely. Now you should try. Now for the most difficult lift of all, the deadlift. This is a very easy lift to get hurt doing, as it contains many complex compound movements. This lift has a unique set of cues: grip, base, tight, close, and finish. Little Mike will also be demonstrating the RDL slides for this lift. He'll go ahead and set his hands a thumb's length away and his feet at shoulder width apart for stability. He'll remember to keep his shoulder blades tight together and set his back flat. This is to prevent injury in your back during the lift. Little Mike is going to bend his knees and slowly lift the bar, standing upright while breathing out. If he were going to simply deadlift, he would drop the bar now. Instead, to do the RDL slide, he's going to slightly bend his knees to engage the hamstrings and take the full load off the back. He will lower the bar to mid-shin, making sure he doesn't further bend his knees. Note how he keeps the bar riding on his quads during the lift for control and to further keep the back straight. To finish, he will bring the bar up, breathing out during this phase to make the full complete movement to the top of his hips. And now he can drop the bar. Now it's your turn. And now we have finished all 5 of the core lifts. It is also important to do some cardio, try out secondary lifts, and eat healthy to stay fit and ripped like me, Buff Mike. Remember, the 5 core lifts are bench press, back squat, front squat, push press, and deadlift. Shout out to Little Mike for helping me demonstrate these lifts. Always remember your weight warm-up and to dress with proper clothing and to be safe in the weight room. Now let's go check back on how that nerd Inti is dealing with her bully.
You nerd.
I'm not a nerd. I lift.
Ow.
Thank you everyone for listening. Remember the goal, to get shredded like me to look good. See ya, bros.